Yo, what's up, everybody? It's Tuesday, November 19th. Did a little hiking today in my area. There are a lot of nature preserves around here. It's really kind of wild, jungly, brush, and came across a gator. Pretty nice sized gator, probably about a 6-foot gator. He was just kind of lounging on the banks of a pond. And that was pretty cool. I thought that was pretty cool. But aside from the gator, didn't see much. I heard a lot of stuff rumbling around in the brush, probably some snakes or frogs or whatever. But I saw the gator, so I'm officially a Floridian. All right, we had a mixed market today. Market opened down sharply on this Ukraine-Russia news. I don't comment too much on the geopolitical stuff. Does this worry me? Yeah, I mean, I'm totally bothered by it. It seems like a very reckless move. Russia has warned the United States against being involved in this capacity. These are not only U.S. supplied missiles to Ukraine, but they have to be operated by Americans or somebody in NATO. So it's a direct fight now between NATO or the United States and Russia. Russia understands that, and I just think it's a very, it's a very volatile situation in the worst way possible. But anyway, let's talk about markets. We got a rebound. Look, yesterday in the fiscal flow situation, we had about a 24.2 billion tax drain yesterday. So markets were down yesterday. We had a mixed close today, but we came back off of the opening lows, which I thought we would. Now, I made the video yesterday saying these leading flows are just extremely strong, okay? If we're going to use the swimming pool analogy, that's just, if you think of that pipe filling up the pool, the water is just coming out full blast. I mean, that's like a fire hose right now coming out of a big fire engine. And, that's not something you want to go against. So, and net flows, which I used to call the deficit, okay, net government transfers, that's up strong too. Now, there's a calendar issue there where I make an adjustment. That's in my report, so I'm not going to go into it here. But nonetheless, net government transfers so far in this fiscal year, remember we're in a new fiscal year, 2025, up strong. I do not see, and I talked about this yesterday, I don't see any decline in interest income transfers. That was happening, okay? It was happening. So don't tell me I was wrong, because I was right until I stopped being right, and it still could come back again, depending on whether or not we get more rate cuts. But now we're about equal. It's not, let's put it this way, it's not dropping anymore. It's marginally higher by like 2 billion interest income transfers. You could basically call it flat year over year. There's no way, and I said this yesterday, there's no way, we're not going to get another year of $1 trillion plus of interest income flows. An additional, what I'm saying, an additional $1 trillion plus of interest income flows. That's just not going to happen. We're going to be equal to what we got last year, which best case scenario on that, you're basically looking at a 2.5, a sub 3% GDP growth rate. I mean, that's not bad. It's basically what we've seen historically for the United States economy over, with the exception of a few periods. That's basically kind of like the growth trend over the last 40 years, 30 years. So, which has been beneficial for stocks, okay? But within that environment, you do get market corrections. So I don't advise chasing after anything. I said yesterday that the strong flows were going to be positive for risk assets, commodities, gold, oil. We saw all those things up today. Bitcoin we saw up today. Bitcoin has kind of a separate narrative attached to it because that's the whole Trump thing. and Trump supposedly is a fan of crypto. All right. Although I have to say, we found out today that Howard Lutnick, who was hoping to get the job as Treasury Secretary. Lutnick, of course, is the CEO of Cantor Fitzgerald, the bond trading house. He was one of the guys in contention for Treasury, and Trump stuck him as Commerce Secretary. As far as I know, Commerce Secretary, that's like a nothing kind of job. You don't really hear about that. Who's ever running Commerce. I don't even know who's running Commerce right now. I know, in the first Trump administration, I think it was Wilbur Ross. You never really heard much from him. So it's I think, he kind of put Lutnick out there on the shelf, and maybe it had something to do. I read a lot of stories about infighting between him, Lutnick, and the other guy, this guy Besant, who I don't really know. He's another hedge fund manager, I think, out of Texas or something like that. And maybe he's still in the running, but who knows? Trump might have got sick of the acrimony between the two of them, or Lutnick was maybe, I don't know, but he stuck him in Commerce Secretary. So if that says something in terms of Trump's favorability towards crypto, because Lutnick was a big crypto guy. So if he's not putting Lutnick at Treasury and he sticks him kind of in the closet at Commerce, I don't know if that says anything about crypto. All I know is that after today's announcement, crypto didn't do very much. So right now, whatever the Bitcoin market is looking at, it's not looking at Howard Lutnick getting a job as Commerce Secretary. Tomorrow is a Social Security payment, so we should have a positive bias to the market if you're a day trader, so you want to be long S&Ps. Bonds had a nice little pop-up today. It looks like technically, and I don't talk too much about technical stuff, even though, I spent my whole beginnings of my career leaning on technical analysis. I mean, that was my analytical framework until I really started to get into MMT. So we had I guess you would call it a breakout of a downtrend line. I will tell you this, I may have mentioned it, I don't know, but in the last week's CFTC Commitments of Traders report for the 10-year Treasury note, the week ending November 12th, that was last Tuesday, we had 3 days of large increase in open interest in the 10-year note at the bottom of that move. Okay, it was when we broke 109. I mean, at December T-note futures contract went down, I think, 108.30. At the bottom of that move, we had a big increase in open interest. Now, there's only one way that open interest can increase. You got to have an increase in longs and an increase in shorts. So you got to ask yourself, who was selling down there at the bottom after this long decline, and who was buying down there at the bottom? All right. So what happened was, leading up to that bottom, we had open interest coming down. So actually financing was leaving the market. The market was liquidating. And then all of a sudden at that bottom, boom, money comes in at the bottom. Me as a contrarian, when I see stuff like that, I automatically want to go against it. I'm like, you didn't do anything for this whole entire decline. You were liquidating your positions. And then all of a sudden, we're way, way down here, and boom, a chunk of money comes in. I pretty much know who came in on the short side. It's, for me, I would guess it's know-nothing speculators who, they're watching rates go up, they're watching rates go up, they're watching rates go up, and then they finally say, rates are going to go up. And so they get short the treasuries. I like to think, who's on the other side of that? Maybe those are the smart people. It's going up, rates are going up. Let's say that, let's explain it like this. Treasury prices going down, treasury prices going down, treasury prices going down. All of a sudden, some group comes in as a big buyer at a very, very low level. I want to know who that is. So I kind of go with that crowd. By the way, if you're seeing something flickering here, some light, it's my crazy lamp. It's not like some Frankenstein laboratory or anything with some crazy experiment going on here. It's just I got something wrong with the socket of my lamp. I gotta change it. So tomorrow's a Social Security payment. We're gonna have an upside bias to the market tomorrow, and you should play it alongside with the S&Ps. And yeah, that's about it for today, folks. We had a T-bill auction today. So tomorrow's Treasury statement, we're going to see what kind of interest transfer occurred from that. We got another T-bill auction on Thursday. So by the end of the week, I'll reassess, take a look at what's happening year over year with those T-bill interest transfers, and we'll see where we're going with that. The thing that turned it around, like I said yesterday, was the quarterly interest payment. And that was big. And it's understandable because the debt, the national debt, that keeps growing. So like these maturities, more and more of them, as they roll over with the higher coupon. But again, the Fed is lowering interest rates. It takes some time. I mean, these transfers ramped up. It didn't just happen like after 2 rate increases that suddenly, there was $1 trillion more added to the economy. I mean, that happened over 2 years. Okay? So patience is required. It's a theme I always come back to. I always try to instill it in you guys. There's plenty of time to make money. The life is a long life. You could build up a lot of wealth if you're disciplined and patient. All right? Anyway, that's it for today. Please like and subscribe and go to my website. Sign up for a 30-day free trial to MMT Trader. And if you do, I send out emails all day long, recommendations, stocks, currencies, metals, all kinds of stuff. And plus MMT insights all day, all the time. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.